Hey guys, Apav here. Now, this is a software called GIMP. I'm really not good at drawing or like photo editing, as you might be able to tell by my thumbnails, but I wanted to make a visual video on some ideas I had and sort of explaining also why I don't agree with how YouTube's been running its advertisements and how they could improve, to keep this platform from going under, basically. So, YouTube is a video sharing platform. That's basically all I can say about it. That was bought out by Google years ago. Their original slogan was broadcast yourself, and it was a platform where just anyone could upload a video and people started having some fun with it. There were some who tried very professional type videos and some who just uploaded family videos. It was a unique and diverse platform for all different types of genres and, well, anything you can do with video. Then, to my knowledge, I'm not a super historian, this is all going off my experience here, partnerships came along where people could get partnered to a network, and that network would receive a cut of the ad revenue that YouTube made off of the ads they placed on videos, and then your network would give you a cut. Now, during this time, everyone in the gaming community was doing like Call of Duty commentary and stuff, and we all thought we had to be partnered to protect us from copyright infringement. Because back then, making a living off YouTube was usually only known for like the really big people, like Tobuscus and Smosh and Freddie W. and the big peoples, But also back then, big was like 1 million subscribers. Actually, it was big just to have 200,000. It was there was no comprehension of someone with over 10 million subscribers at that time. Also, people who got partnered would have certain perks. Now, these networks used to be very hard to get into. Like, you would have to get at least like 30,000 views a day and have 30,000 subscribers and stuff like that. You pretty much already had to be big to be partnered. But when you were partnered, you unlocked thumbnails, longer videos, and a channel banner, because channels also used to be very customizable, whereas now it just looks like a Facebook page. Slowly, YouTube relented on those perks, and anyone could get them if they gave YouTube their phone number. But over time, I eventually got partnered. And I got partnered to TGN, which is owned by Broadband TV. I've always had a good copyright status and community guidelines status. I never got a strike. But back before all that, the biggest deal was just copyright stuff. People weren't really worried about money, and the only problems people were having was with the copyright algorithm, because the copyright algorithm would randomly select things, especially if you were trying to review something or commentate over something. The algorithm couldn't decipher between fair use and a copyright violation, which to this day is still an ongoing problem, but that was the beginning of YouTubers battling with algorithms. So I don't know when this came up, but YouTube then started just partnering anyone, where anyone could monetize a video. I don't know when this came up, because when I used to hear about partnership, I always thought you had to join a network. But when a video was monetized, you got this little green cash symbol above your views and all that stuff. All seemed fine because people were basically paid by the views they got. If they didn't get that many views, they didn't get paid that much. If there were only 12 cents worth of advertisements on your video, you would get 5 cents and YouTube would get 7 cents or something like that. It wasn't like YouTube was paying everyone a flat salary and the smaller channels were taking money away from what could be given to the big channels. However, over time, advertisers started to realize they weren't really making their money back from these ads. People were just skipping over the ads and forgetting about the businesses. So then YouTube thought, oh, we need to place advertisements on videos advertisers want. So instead of allowing advertisers to pick and choose what videos their advertisements were placed off on in order to get better feedback, instead they did this across the board and started demonetizing offensive videos or videos not suitable for most advertisers. And that started a big mess. First off, for possibly 2 years before this even started, they didn't tell anyone that they were demonetizing videos, that advertisements weren't being placed on their videos, or that they weren't getting a cut for it. They just went ahead and did it and didn't tell anyone. So around this time, everyone thought they were just doing bad. Big YouTubers started asking their audiences what they were doing wrong because they were seeing a drop in their income and had no idea how to handle it. They wanted to improve because they didn't realize that it was an advertising problem and not actually a problem with their content. Eventually, YouTube let us know what they were doing. They were demonetizing videos, and they gave us these little yellow marks. Here's one right now. These yellow marks to warn us, hey, you're not really making any money off these videos. And I'll get back to why this was a horrible idea to begin with, but around the same time, YouTube launched YouTube Red, which also upsetted a lot of people because YouTube Red completely changed how YouTube managed money. And it was based on watch time because YouTube Red was a subscription service to skip over ads. So instead of by view, it was on watch time. And a bunch of big YouTubers thought, oh, well, this is going to screw over channels without like big audience retention, like small people who make smaller videos or make, say, one video a week instead of long videos continuously. So this would hurt animation channels and smaller channels. Plus, YouTube never really specified how they were going to be moving the money around. They did, but it seemed almost as if YouTube decided where the money went. So it was like this for a couple years. We've all been concerned with how YouTube was demonetizing videos, and this sort of generation of YouTube has been known as the adpocalypse because big YouTubers haven't been able to make any money and small YouTubers haven't really been able to grow. And YouTube decided to make the demonetization process algorithmic, like their copyright system. So any video that was tagged for some reason by their algorithm was instantly demonetized. And when you went to request a review, it said you had to at least get 1,000 views in a certain period of time in order for them to even take a look at the algorithm's mistake. Once again, hurting small channels, but then adding a new algorithm to the mix. Because instead of creating better algorithms that place related ads onto videos, which would increase the value of those ads for the advertisers, they instead decided to just demonetize completely certain videos. These videos included political groups that Google didn't quite like. I'm using Prager University as an example because they're a conservative group, but I think they're the least hated on YouTube right now, but I could be wrong. But YouTube doesn't really like conservative or really any voices that voice out against them. So these channels and channels that spoke out against YouTube got hit with demonetization. But people also looked into this and realized YouTube was turning down advertisers that didn't fit their criteria. So say conservative advertisers that wanted to be placed on conservative videos couldn't. And even if they were allowed to advertise, they wouldn't be able to advertise on the videos they wanted to because these channels have been demonetized due to this big algorithm that would take down any video that was considered offensive in Google's eyes. Say Ruger wants to advertise a new firearm. Would they rather advertise on some gaming channel or the Young Turks or Samantha Bee? Or would they rather advertise on Prager University or maybe even some videos the NRA uploads? But they can't do that if Google's demonetizing them. So you see, the problem isn't really the publishers or the advertisers. It's that YouTube doesn't seem to want to fix its original algorithm of what advertisements get placed on what videos. This became kind of hypocritical when YouTube started Creators for Change. Creators for Change is literally just a liberal activist group. They try to sound unbiased, but it's pretty interesting how their new guidelines for monetization say you can't talk about anything controversial, yet they have social activists that are actually paid by YouTube to try to change the world. I would think that would cause some controversy. And I thought advertisers didn't want controversy. Or is it just the advertisers you're allowing on your platform? And if you would allow certain types of advertisers and make it easier for them to access, say, gaming videos if they want to advertise on gaming videos, or conservative channels, wouldn't that mean you don't need to be demonetizing anyone? Going to the middle of the road, people like Philip DeFranco talk about some controversial stuff every now and then, and since YouTube is completely algorithmic, if they see a certain title or spot something, he gets demonetized too. Since YouTube has no personality, they now just robotically take down anyone without warning, and when this supplies someone's income or has become someone's job, it not only hurts them as a customer for YouTube, but it hurts them financially. These people who rely on YouTube are pretty much the reason YouTube exists. People come to YouTube to watch these people, and if you're taking money from them, then you're sort of chasing off your own customers and viewers. Now, some channels have found ways to get around this. Oddly enough, Skolagrim, I never know how to pronounce his name, even though I've been off and on watching his videos for years. He reviews swords, and for some reason YouTube sometimes doesn't like swords. Sometimes they're fine with putting advertisements on the videos, but still, he's low in the financial department at the moment, so thus ushered in a new age of sponsorships. So Skull somehow got a sponsorship with gaming apps for the phone, and this I found interesting. Not just because he, was advertising a phone app, but if this app wanted their advertisements to be on his videos and thought they would get a good enough feedback for it, that got me thinking. There's obviously advertisers who want to be on his channel if they're willing to sponsor his channel, so maybe YouTube really can just fix their system, spend a little bit of time on their system, and we won't have to worry about demonetization. These people won't have to worry about losing their job. Another example is like the Pixel Empire sponsorships and those Loot Crate sponsorships and Audible.com sponsorships.
As many of you know, I don't read good. Luckily, there's websites like Audible.com that allow you to read with your ears. Let's go blow up a tree.
All those things that have been keeping some YouTubers going, if they're losing income on other videos or getting demonetized on certain videos and, taking up time of their videos to push more ads because they need this money, why can't YouTube make it more customizable for the advertisers? So say this new bracket they want to create. Hang on, let me pull up the email here. This new bracket here where they say you have to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time, which for me, someone who's been on YouTube for 6 years and who's got over 700 subscribers, we could hit 1,000 around summertime, and one of my videos recently exploded in popularity. I still haven't reached that hour threshold. What if they just put that in a different bracket? So say you might get paid less if you're under the 4,000 hour bracket, but they don't drop you as a partner. Because, well, for one, this seems very impersonal. You don't call someone a partner and then ditch them, especially when we're not taking money from anyone. It's not like you're laying people off because you can't afford to pay them. If we don't get any views, we don't get paid anyways. You're not really missing out on much. It's just you haven't found a way to allow advertisers to pull from certain videos. If advertisers don't want their advertisements placed on small channels, allow that. But also allow advertisers to place their advertisements on small channels if they want to. Put us in the under 4,000 hour bracket in its own category and maybe make it cheaper advertisement. So say the advertisers pay less and they could get on 10 million videos that only reach 10 views. Those people might still get, the 5 cents they earn every month, and you're not dropping them as a partner, but that advertiser could play a lot less than, say, however much someone would pay to be on PewDiePie's video. Because right now it's sounding like you're lumping everything together. Like advertisers just pay to have their advertisements on YouTube, and they really don't know what videos they're going to get placed on. They're just hoping to see better feedback, and YouTube's in charge of getting that better feedback. I think this more custom approach would be better for the creators, for the viewers, and for the advertisers in the long run. And you wouldn't have to, be impersonal and upset the majority of your creators, because even though the majority of people probably watch the big creators, the small up and coming creators, there's a lot of them. And while the big creators are all sort of finding their own branches to branch off to, if all these people who are trying to grow can't, because you keep putting them down and treating them like nothing, your platform's going to die off. And maybe YouTube Red and YouTube TV can make you the next Netflix, but this was supposed to be a social platform, and you're doing your users a disservice constantly. So those are my ideas and thoughts. Come up with your own ideas in the comments and post what you think about this whole situation, because if YouTube keeps acting like the way they do, it will no longer be YouTube. It'll be corporate TV. It'll just be NBC and Comedy Central and some YouTube Red programs with celebrities that, hey, remember he made it big back when YouTube was about the users? And I don't know how long that can stand, because people have now had the taste of what YouTube should be like. They now know what independent news is like and what independent voices sound like. They don't have to turn on the news and listen to a condescending voice or some over-dramatized event. They can actually go on YouTube and hear a normal person talking normally to them. And I think they like that more. So when YouTube divides its customer base like this, I think they might die off along with cable television if they keep trying to act like cable television. That's my thoughts, and thanks for watching.